present much about the government. Yeah, so guys, you've seen over from places to places, people indicating that Ruto is very angry with Kindiki after the Mary tour. So I don't know if you've gone into the nitty-gritties of that tour and actually understood about what happened. Now, away from that, you heard what Khalwale indicated while in Kakamega. You heard recently what he said, indicating that the young people are very much annoyed by the government. And I would wish, if you come to this platform, if you have anything to do with any other place, you are welcome. But I would wish to go into a discussion that it's out to show the kind of fear that is standing out in the government right away. So let's start with the Meru tour. We come to the Meru tour and what really happened. So guys, remember, GACHAGUA was swept out of the government, and all of us know that everybody else supported the move, given that they saw he was not up to the task. However, after coming out of government, Ruto and GACHAGUA have not been in terms, and we have seen GACHAGUA going round as a bitter woman after divorce, giving a lot of tales about the government. And of course, some of these tales, as long as we may doubt, they always say that when an alligator comes out of the water and tells you that Mr. Crocodile is sick, will you doubt the story? You may not doubt the story. So he's been in-house. So of course, even if he will exaggerate some of the things, he might actually be right about some of them. And so we are looking into this. Recently, I saw another discussion on whether Matiang would be the suitable candidate for presidency or whether GACHAGUA. That is still up to you to decide who is a suitable candidate in their party anyway. Now, my question is also that as these fights continue, remember GACHAGUA went to Kakamega, and you remember what happened there, and he was almost caught up with until he ran away. Now, I'm not very sure about why this had to happen, but let's just briefly get to the Meru event.
I canceled my Mid-Journey subscription.
And I don't know what you think about this, but from the many perspectives, people think that regardless of the president having picked Kindiki as the vice president so that he can sell him in Mount Kenya, it has been impossible to use Kindiki, the famous soprano guy. So today I was just watching something about Moses Kuria, and Moses Kuria was up talking about this guy is, a failure in many ways, and he gave 5 theories. I don't know if you're on board here. Do you believe in what Moses Kuria said? Maybe we will start from there before we get to other discussions. Yeah, so there's a lot of fear in government and a lot of anger displayed here and there. So of course we saw that the 10th annual Dairy Farmer Field Day of 2025, President went to Meru and he was also at Esk Playground, or Showground rather. So that is a showground. Of course there was a show there, and it's a right for the president to go there. But my question is, why had he to go there? Because we have had so many showgrounds, or rather shows in the country, and the president has not been coming to all of them. So why specifically Meru? Maybe, if I may ask. So let's just briefly look at whatever happened here. Looking at this here. So you can see Kindiki right there. Yeah, so of course he started with assessing the dairy kettles, and he was shown around and how much they produce and all that. So then they went to the showground. Yeah. Followed by Bishop. So at the showground, this is what happened. Let me just show you what happened as the president is speaking. The advertisements here are bothering me, but I wanted to show you something. I'm targeting the president here. There are so many people speaking during that show, but I'm targeting the president particularly. Yeah, so it's here. Ya kufanya repair ya ura dampo ulifungua wewe kwa sababu sewage haishiki maji. Yeah, so here the president. Sana tafadhali tunaweza kuketi chini. Thank you very much. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya, Profesa Abraham Kithure Kindiki, waheshimiwa mawaziri, makatibu, gavana wetu wa Meru, waheshimiwa wabunge, MCS, wakulima wa Meru Dairy, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Mogeni kaire. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Maziwa, pesa. Hebu mnisalimie hivyo hewani nione watu wa Meru. Asanteni sana. Iko laini ya kwenda mbele kama taifa letu la Kenya, na ni kwa sababu elimu ni muhimu, kwa sababu ndio inatupatia usawa. Tumefikisha bilioni 59 mwaka uliopita. So mimi nataka niwaambie PS wangu wa mambo ya livestock yuko hapa. Tayari kama serikali tumefanya mpango mzuri. County government. So you actually see that the president here, is struggling to explain some things, right? Yeah, so in this tour that was conducted, the president is struggling to actually explain things, and people are clapping, but you know, it's like they have been forced to clap. Now, remember, Professor Kithure Kindiki comes from Meru, right? So when this happens, it doesn't occur well with the Ruto, because of course he has invested in this place, and he particularly picked Kindiki knowing that he's not going to challenge him, unlike GACHAGUA, who was almost going to be a very strong candidate if he was to remain in government up to 2027. Yeah, so guys, I don't know what you think up to this time, but from my view, the president is a bit of shaken, and when he looks around and sees the response of people of the mountain, I don't know whether you'll agree with what Moses Kuria says here. It may be that GACHAGUA will not be the person running for the presidential seat, but he has formed this party and they're going to pick a candidate, and he's going around talking about one term, talking about the Jamaa Soprano. Of course, that is one of the things that Moses Kuria has talked about, the fact of labeling individuals. I don't know how it occurs with you. Now, I looked at how Kuria was expressing himself with a lot of anger in an interview with Jeff Koinange, and I was like, okay, there seems to be rain in the government. Yeah, so now let's go to GACHAGUA. Of course, I just looked at him some minutes ago. He was addressing Wamunyoro. GACHAGUA, when he was in Meru. Let's check on that. And I want you to have this comparison in mind and see, you know, how he is actually doing everything here. So this is what happened. Let's see this.
Lakini watu wanalia hapa. It is upon you to stand up na muongee ukweli, tutaingia hao watu wa Mungu.
Yeah, so I'm targeting where Gachagua speaks, by the way, not just any other person, because of course so many people have moved out of the government.
Na washirika wengine, nimeona muko na kazi hapa ya kufanya, mmetupatia orodha kubwa na tumeona, na kwa hivyo tutajua hapo mbele tukiwa nao viongozi what we can do, lakini tutatafuta pesa kidogo 300,000 tumwachie mwanze ile kazi. Tutaendelea kusaidia nyinyi polepole hapo mbele. Tukipata serikali tena tutakuwa na nguvu zaidi. Na sasa tutakumbuka mlitualika hapa wakati ya shida.
Now guys, remember Gachagua is using the same strategy Ruto was using then when he was looking for this seat. It seems that he has mastered the art of the boss, or probably he was the master behind everything that was happening during the campaigns. Regardless of Kuria coming out and saying that he has more, experience than Gachagua, it seems that is just a narrative that is neither there nor there. So let me quickly get you to somewhere he spoke here.
Tukia ukweli ni wale wako na wakati fanya kazi kwa serikali yake, mambo ya kanisa alikuwa ingili. President Moi, he was quite dictatorial, lakini mambo ya kanisa aliheshimu kanisa la Kristo. So mimi nataka kuambia kidikons wetu, I hope they will not transfer you. Tunakuombea Mungu. Lakini hata ukiwa transferred utakuwa tu hapa Kenya. Si ndio? So there's no problem, but it's very 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 unfortunate what is happening. Mimi niseme mambo mbili tatu. Niseme ya kwamba tumekuwa hapa Meru nyumbani, the land of my mother. Na mimi nashukuru watu wetu wa Meru vile wamenikaribisha. Tumefurahi sana. Sana. Meru anaangalia mtandao, anaona mikutano inaendelea. Wewe Sabrano. Wewe Sabrano. Uliniahidi? Yes sir. Si nilitoa pesa? Yes sir. Si mlinihakikishia? Sasa hii ni mambo gani wewe Sabrano? Si mliniambia hili kijini kifukuza wiki 3 atakuwa amesaulika? Mimi nimechoka kutoa pesa kwa hii mlima. Mimi mnikubalie niende nikatafute kura Western na huko kwa Wajaluo. Sasa Sabrano amekwama.
Yeah, now guys, you can see the kind of politics that Gachagua is playing with. Now he's using Kindiki to hit on Ruto. And of course, when you look at the reality, it seems that somehow this is how it is slapping. So guys, remember recently, Gachagua went across from Coast when he introduced the aspect of cousins and going across